Beginning the list at number 10 is Logan Paul's YouTube video. It has been 4 years since he posted this YouTube video that ended his entire YouTube career. He was once one of the biggest YouTubers in the world until he posted a vlog video of him and some friends going to the famous Japanese suicide forest. In the video, they actually came across a real dead body of someone who took their own life, and in his video, they are kind of making light of the situation. He lost everything, all brand deals, including a partnership with Google's preferred program, which is worth millions of dollars. He was able to build back an audience and create the biggest podcast in the world, but then that video came back to haunt him. In December of 2020, he was sued by a movie company called Plainless Pictures, who claimed that he signed a deal with them back in 2016 to make a movie called Airplane Mode. In the lawsuit, it states that he was supposed to star in it and help write and produce it and distribute it through YouTube. Apparently, there was a $3 million licensing deal with Google, and since Logan obviously lost his partnership with Google, their movie plan just came crashing down. And now they want him to pay up 4 years later. That sucks. Coming in at number 9 is Donald Trump's tweets. I know what you're thinking. Which ones? He's always been known for his ridiculous tweets, but one Twitter moment isn't aging very well right now. Back in 2017, during his first year as president, he did an interview and told the Financial Times, "Without the tweets, I wouldn't be here. I don't regret anything because there is nothing you can do about it. You know, if you issue hundreds of tweets and every once in a while you get a clunker, that's not so bad. So without the tweets, he wouldn't be here as president," is what he said. Kind of ironic when thinking about what is happening during these times. His Twitter account was suspended and then banned along with the rest of his social media. And Joe Biden won the election and he was officially removed from the White House. So maybe without his tweets, he really won't be here anymore. We're not really sure. I feel like he's gonna somehow try to make a new Twitter account. Yeah. I don't know. Up next, number 8 is moments from the script in Glee. This one is more serious than some of the other ones on our list. There have been many theories that the TV show Glee has foreshadowed the future deaths of some of its stars. One eerie example is the actor Mark Salling, who played Puck on the show. The odd foreshadowing was in season 2, episode 15, when his character Puck and another character, Lauren, are planning to make a sex tape to make Lauren famous. A substitute teacher in the show says to them, I quote, "You do realize that making a sex tape will make you both guilty of creating and owning CP." This specific scene did not age well because in real life in 2015, Mark was arrested on suspicion of possessing several thousand images of CP following a tip-off to police by one of his ex-girlfriends. A search warrant was issued and they found more than 50,000 images downloaded on his computer and USB flash drives. He pleaded guilty in court in September 2017 and was expected to serve between 4 to 7 years in jail and would have to register as a sex offender. But while he was awaiting a sentence, he was found dead by suicide. Sliding into number 7 is Jimmy Fallon doing blackface. Any blackface moment isn't right at any point in time, but Jimmy's moment seemed to get pushed under the rug until it resurfaced many years later. Old footage surfaced during the height of the 2020 Black Lives Matter movement and showed Jimmy Fallon on SNL doing blackface. The footage shows sketches he did from 2 decades ago where he impersonated fellow comedian Chris Rock while in blackface makeup. Jimmy immediately took responsibility for it though and issued an apology saying, "In 2000, while on SNL, I made a terrible decision to do an impersonation of Chris Rock while in blackface. There is no excuse for this. I am very sorry for making this unquestionably offensive decision and thank you all for holding me accountable." No matter when this footage resurfaced, he would have faced a ton of backlash because our eyes have been more opened more this past year to the racism that exists in our world and has always existed, but often overlooked. So no matter what point in time, this video would have been bad. However, he got away with it back then. So, making her way into number 6 is Michelle Phan and her essential oils. Throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, many influencers have spread misinformation about essential oils, but Michelle was the first to do it, so it did not age well as the virus got significantly worse and has lasted over a year already. Some people believe that essential oils have antiviral properties and could protect you against the COVID-19 virus. However, studies have shown that there is very little evidence of this being true. Back in February, at the start of this whole pandemic, beauty guru Michelle Phan posted on her Instagram about using an antiviral essential oil kit to kill off the virus before it enters your system. She wrote, "Our first point of contact for viruses is our nose. If you are burning antiviral essential oils around you, this will kill off the virus before it enters your system." Many people chimed in on this topic, and Dr. Pimple Popper was one of them. She reposted it on Twitter and said, "Sorry, antiviral essential oils don't exist." This definitely did not age well, seeing as the virus has been going on for over a year now and has killed hundreds of thousands of people. I don't think essential oils is or ever was the solution to COVID-19. Halfway through our list at number 5 is Charli D'Amelio hanging out with friends. The 16-year-old TikTok star once went on her Instagram live stream and talked about the importance of staying home and social distancing. She even decided to tweet out her feelings about seeing other people online hanging out with their friends. She posted, "If you're using this time to hang out with your friends since you don't have school, please, I'm asking you, please stop being so inconsiderate to others." It was great to see her being responsible, but that went away very quickly after fans started calling her out for filming videos with a group of friends and going on vacation to the Bahamas with people, obviously friends and family, just days after she posted that. She was caught posing with groups of fans while she was on vacation. People are now ridiculing her for her past statements on not leaving your home unless you have to. Vacation is not a have to. Sniping our number 4 spot is Bella Thorne's lyrics. She recently put out a song called SFB, which means stupid effing B word, and it was written about her ex-girlfriend Tana Mojo. The song basically calls her an SFB and talks about how awful she is, claiming that Tana only used her for clout. She even put out a music video for it and had someone play Tana in the video with a very similar look to her. A pretty bold move for an ex to do, celebrity or not. And although some people saw this as an epic diss track, that didn't last long because Tana exposed that Bella had been calling her non-stop after the release of this song. So the diss track did not age very well because you wouldn't be calling someone a SFB if you're just gonna be calling them after you release this video. Like, it just didn't make sense. In the 3rd spot is Ava Louise creates a TikTok challenge. So she's not technically a celebrity. The only reason she became known as an online influencer is because she invented a TikTok challenge that went viral. But she is kind of famous now if you go check her out. She was just a 21-year-old New Jersey college student when she made up a fake coronavirus challenge and videotaped herself licking an airplane toilet seat. This caused others to start filming themselves licking public toilet seats and calling it a coronavirus challenge. At first, it was probably all fun and games as she didn't take the virus very seriously, but this got old very fast because the virus started taking the lives of many people and the whole toilet seat joke thing just was no longer funny. I mean, was it ever funny? I couldn't believe that people would even start doing this challenge or be dumb enough to like pretend to do it. She received a ton of hate for it and later admitted in a YouTube video that she did it to get attention online. So she got what she wanted, really. I mean, she has tons of followers now and stuff. In our number 2 spot is the horrific time that Ryan Seacrest high-fived a blind person. This is the type of situation that doesn't even have to age bad, it is just bad from the start. It was back in 2009 when Ryan was the host on American Idol and did an interview with a contestant that was moving on in the competition. Ryan, however, forgot that he was blind, and while doing the interview, he tried to high-five him. The moment was incredibly uncomfortable for everyone, and if you haven't seen it, Ryan basically starts trying to talk to him through the high five and like pretends he was doing that the whole time, like he didn't mean to do it. He tried to make it seem like he didn't forget that he was blind, but we all knew and understood what exactly happened. No matter how old the video clip gets, it still does not get easier to watch. You guys should seriously go watch it. It's cringeworthy. Earning a number 1 spot is Chris D'Elia realizing something about Snapchat. At first, it was just a funny video clip of Chris doing an interview one time and learning that Snapchat content can be saved. He was on the comedy podcast, The Fighter and the Kid, and they were talking about a teacher sending photos to a 15-year-old student on Snapchat and getting caught. That is when he said, "But hold on a second, how did it come out? Snapchat goes away, right?" Then he was told that Snapchat content can be saved, and his face looked stunned and he just went silent. Of course, this was just funny, but seemed a little bit suspicious. The video clip did not age well because in 2020 it resurfaced after different women came forward and accused him of sexual misconduct, claiming that he groomed underage girls online, Snapchat too, with solicitation of nude photos. A horrible time for that clip to resurface because it's basically us witnessing that he realized he could get caught for some of the things that he was doing on Snapchat. That is so twisted.
And at number 10, we have Tyra Banks. Tyra Banks got in a lot of trouble in 2020 when old clips of her on America's Next Top Model resurfaced. And in the clips, she's seen talking down to the women, giving them bad advice, and being a hypocrite. One viral clip shows Banks telling contestant Danielle Evans that the gap in her teeth is, quote, not marketable, and she should close it if she wants to get a CoverGirl contract. But then only a few cycles later, Tyra told a different girl to actually widen her gap. Completely different stories. In response, Banks tweeted out, quote, "Been seeing the posts about the insensitivity of some past ANTM moments, and I agree with you. Looking back, those were some really off choices. Appreciate your honest feedback, and I'm sending so much love and virtual hugs." And let's just say what she said to the women on the show would definitely not be tolerated today. And at number 9, Michael Scott, The Office. Steve Carell's character in The Office is notoriously one of the most politically incorrect characters ever created. And some of the show's most popular episodes center around racially insensitive and sexist stereotypes. One of the show's most offensive episodes is called Diversity Day, where Michael tries to teach the staff to not use racial stereotypes. But he does so by basically discussing every racial stereotype that there is. With the recent rise in popularity of the show, fans are now begging for a reboot. But Carell says the show could not be made today, saying in one interview, quote, "The climate's different. I mean, the whole idea of that character, Michael Scott, so much of it was predicated on inappropriate behavior. I mean, he's certainly not a model boss. A lot of what is depicted on the show is completely wrong-minded. That's the point, But I just don't know how that would fly today." And he is definitely right. That show would be canceled on Twitter in a second if it was made today. And at number 8, Robert Downey Jr., Tropic Thunder. This movie is constantly in controversy because Robert Downey Jr. portrayed a black character in the film, even wearing makeup to make him look the part. In the movie, Robert Downey Jr.'s character, Kirk Lazarus, is an Australian method actor who undergoes pigmentation alteration surgery to darken his skin tone in order to play a black character in a war movie. And the fact that Downey Jr. has black skin and features practically the whole movie has been a controversial topic since the movie was released years ago. Downey Jr. spoke about the controversial decision to play the character on an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience podcast, saying that initially he had a lot of reservations about playing the character, but his heart was always in the right place. Adding that most of his black friends did not have an issue with the film, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't wrong. Adding that essentially all he can do now is admit it's wrong and be better in the future. And at number 7, Jimmy Kimmel. In June of 2020, Jimmy Kimmel apologized after he was exposed for acting in a series of sketches from earlier in his career where he darkened his skin to impersonate black stars, like NBA player Karl Malone and Oprah Winfrey. He said in a statement at the time, quote, "I apologize to those who were genuinely hurt or offended by the makeup I wore or the words I spoke." Also taking the time to criticize those who were using this event as a weapon against his frequent criticism of social issues on his show, which some people felt made him a hypocrite. And at number 6, David Letterman's old interviews. Several old interview clips of David Letterman's have resurfaced recently, and many are saying he crossed major lines. One example was with Lindsay Lohan in 2013. She did that interview recently out of rehab, and Letterman persistently asked her questions about it. She said that she didn't want to talk about it, but he kept pressing, leading her to cry. Next up was Janet Jackson. Letterman was pressing her about her infamous Super Bowl incident, asking her questions about how her wardrobe malfunction came to be. Right after she was asked about it, she replied, quote, "I don't want to relive any of that." But Letterman kept asking, while Jackson looked very annoyed. Lastly was an interview with Jennifer Aniston, where Letterman actually tasted a piece of her hair. I'm not sure why anyone would do that, but it was really inappropriate. Thankfully, I don't think any of these interview moments would fly today. Halfway number 5, Ellen DeGeneres. Ellen has won many awards over the years for being nice. Most recently was in 2016 when she accepted a People's Choice Award for Favorite Humanitarian. She said in her acceptance speech, quote, "This is crazy. I mean, so deserved, but this is crazy. I have to say it's a little strange to actually get an award for being nice and generous and kind, which is what we're all supposed to do with one another. That's the point of being human." And what's funny here is that years later, she would be exposed for basically being the most two-faced person alive, with her being called notoriously one of the meanest people in Hollywood, who was rude to guests as well as her own staff. This changed people's perceptions of her so much, people were wondering if she would be able to come back to her show. She eventually did come back to a lot of backlash, and her image hasn't really recovered since. Something tells me she won't be winning any awards for being nice anytime soon. And at number 4, James Charles. James Charles went through one of the worst cancellations of all time in 2019 when he was exposed by one of his good friends, Tati Westbrook, for using his fame and influence to trick straight men into falling for him, with her setting examples of manipulation and even pressuring some men too. Then Jeffree Star famously jumped on the bandwagon and exposed that James had not been allowed in his house, calling him a danger to society. At the time, James released a response video and convinced us these allegations were false, which we ended up believing. However, very recently, James was accused by 2 people for exchanging inappropriate photos with them, with fans specifically calling out the fact that James seems to use his followers as a dating pool, which James ended up addressing on Twitter. And many are now thinking that Tati could have actually been right this whole time, and many of his fans are pushing for him to address the situation further. And at number 3, David Dobrik. David Dobrik has acquired an image of being wholesome and nice from his videos, even though a lot of his videos show dangerous things taking place or even show harmful pranks. One of David's old pranks featuring Seth Francois is now being called out by many for being a form of SA, which is an acronym people are describing the allegation with. This is because in the video, David convinces Seth that he is going to be making out with Corinna Kopf, a girl from the vlog squad that Seth likes. But there is a catch, and she's going to be wearing a mask while they're kissing. The prank ensues, and we learn later that Seth was actually kissing Jason Nash, another vlog squad member, not Corinna like he anticipated. David is currently being called out for the incident on all platforms, but he has yet to address it. People online are adding that it's laughable that he's currently on an anti-bullying tour when he's been accused of this in the past. And at number 2, Bella Thorne. Bella Thorne has long been an advocate of adult performers and creators on sites like OnlyFans, doing what she can to stop the stigma behind the industry. However, that support all went south when Bella joined the platform herself and ended up permanently ruining it. This happened because Bella deceived her fans into thinking that they were getting lewd photos of her when they actually were not, causing a record number of people to request chargebacks. This then caused OnlyFans to change their entire policy on tips and cap the amount creators could receive, permanently hurting those creators. And many people now wish she just never joined the site to begin with. And finally, number 1, Hilaria Baldwin. Hilaria Baldwin was recently exposed for lying about her Spanish heritage, now that old clips are resurfacing where she's using a Spanish accent. It started when one tweet went viral, saying, quote, "You have to admire Hilaria Baldwin's commitment to her decade-long grift where she impersonates a Spanish person." And in the replies of that tweet were tons of videos of Hilaria using a Spanish accent and claiming that she was from Spain. However, internet sleuths got to the truth, and she actually isn't Spanish at all. Her parents just vacationed there a lot growing up and currently live there now. Also, her name isn't even Hilaria. It's actually just Hillary. One clip that went super viral was of her cooking a meal and forgetting the English word for cucumber while speaking in a Spanish accent.
Starting off this countdown, we have Get On Your Feet. In 2014, during a show in Sydney, Kanye West ordered all the concert goers to stand up. He stopped his show to do this and singled out some people who weren't standing. He then told them to stand up. Little did he know that the person was not standing as they were using a wheelchair. It got really uncomfortable really fast and the crowd started booing. Imagine being singled out in front of an entire arena of people for not standing up. Meanwhile, you physically can't. Later, he said, "If you cannot prove to me that you're in a wheelchair, you need to be standing. If you can, it's okay, sit down." In our 9th spot today, we have the inappropriate flag. In November of 2013, Kanye West was spotted wearing a jacket with a Confederate
Confederate flag on it. People immediately called him out, but Kanye being Kanye, he did not care. He said, and I quote, "React how you want. Any energy is good energy. You know the Confederate flag represented slavery in a way. That's my abstract take on what I know about it. So I made the song New Slaves. So I took the Confederate flag and made it my flag. It's my flag. Now what are you gonna do?" End quote. Now, a lot of people were not too thrilled about this, to say the least. In our 8th spot today, we have Justice. Believe it or not, but Kanye has a habit of interrupting people on award show stages. In November of 2006, during the MTV Europe Music Awards, Kanye went on stage after Justice won Best Video for We Are Your Friends. Kanye was a sore loser because he thought his video Touch the Sky should have won. Why? Because he said it cost $1 million and Pamela Anderson was in it. As he got on stage, he grabbed a mic and yelled, "Oh hell no! Oh hell no!" He then said, "If I don't win, the award show loses." He then goes on to say, "Nothing against you, man. I've never seen your video. Nothing against you, but hell no." In our 7th spot, we have Pants on the Ground. In 2012, while out with his then-girlfriend Kim Kardashian, Kanye West had a pretty embarrassing wardrobe malfunction. The pair were spotted by the paparazzis getting out of a car when Kanye's pants slipped down low. But it left people wondering, why was Kanye's pants undone in the first place? Kim, what was going on in that car? Either way, he handled the malfunction pretty well, but the revealing photos are a little embarrassing. In our 6th spot, we have The Mask. On Super Bowl day, Kanye West was trending after posting a series of tweets calling out ex-wife Kim Kardashian and her new lover, Pete Davidson. Kanye West was later spotted at the Super Bowl with his 2 kids, North and Saint. But you might not have recognized him if you saw him. That's because he was wearing a full-on black face mask covering his entire face. Soon, he became a meme. We still don't know why he decided to wear this mask. Maybe it was because he was trying to hide his face after everything that went down that day. Who knows? But it ended up just attracting more attention to him. In fact, it seems like he regretted wearing it in the end. Comedian Judd Apatow was sitting near Kanye at the game and posted on Instagram a photo of Kanye wearing that mask. He captioned it, and I quote, "I'm sitting near Kanye. He seems very hot and sweaty in that mask. I overheard him say, 'Man, I wish I didn't go with the mask today. But now that I'm in it, I can't really bail on it.'" So not only did he become a meme, but he regretted it because he was sweating and he probably didn't get a good view of the show. And then around halftime, he did end up taking off the mask. We're now at our 5th and halfway mark with the paparazzi. It's no shocker that Kanye West doesn't like the paparazzi. I mean, what celebrity really does? But some people handle their encounters better than others. Kanye is not one of them. On multiple occasions, Kanye has been caught attacking and belittling the pops. In one incident in 2013, Kanye got very physical with a photographer at LAX that kept hounding him with questions. Kanye got upset with him and lunged at the camera, trying to take it out of his hands. He then put him into a headlock and got him on the ground. The photographer reportedly was sent to the hospital after this altercation. And this whole confrontation was captured by other paparazzi members. In our 4th spot today, we have "I'ma let you finish." This is the famous line that Kanye West said to Taylor Swift during the MTV Video Music Awards. Taylor won Best Female Video and Kanye was not pleased. He hopped on stage and grabbed the microphone before saying that Beyonce deserved the award and not her. He said Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. Now, that moment was embarrassing for both him and Taylor. In fact, that was the start of a very lengthy feud between the two. In our 3rd spot, we have Apologize. I'm sure you all are aware of the tragedy that happened at the Travis Scott concert and all the backlash that he received for not stopping the show as people were losing their lives. Well, later on, Billie Eilish was accused of throwing shade at Travis Scott during her recent performance. During her show, she noticed someone at her concert was having trouble breathing. So she stopped the show, waited until the fan got an inhaler, and was okay before continuing on with the show. In a video clip from the incident, Billie said, and I quote, "I wait for people to be okay before I keep going." That's when Kanye got defensive. He thought she was making a jab at Travis Scott. So Kanye took to Instagram to post a lengthy comment. He said, and I quote, "Come on, Billie, we love you. Please apologize to Trav and to the families of the people who lost their lives. No one intended this to happen. Trav didn't have any idea of what was happening when he was on stage and was very hurt by what happened. And yes, Trav will be with me at Coachella, but now I need Billie to apologize before I perform." So he literally was like, "I'm not gonna perform at Coachella with Billie unless she apologizes." Billie responded with, and I quote, "Literally never said a thing about Travis, was just helping a fan." In our 2nd spot today, we have the bathroom break. In 2008, while guest starring on Conan O'Brien's show, Kanye West randomly revealed that he had to go pee. The two were deep in discussion when he randomly said, and I quote, "Sidebar, I have to use the bathroom really bad." I mean, if you gotta go, you gotta go, okay? You can't help it, no shame. But still, his timing was very bad. Conan actually handled it very well though. He said, "It's added a sense of urgency to what you're saying," which I think is valuable, nice one. And in our number one spot today, we have Skeet. Skeet is the nickname that Kanye West has given none other than Pete Davidson. Now, if you follow Kanye on Instagram, you know how wild his posts have been lately. Basically, everything he posts is about Pete Davidson. Now, you gotta stay following him because he will post something and then a couple days or hours later, he'll delete it, so you gotta be quick on that. Well, on Super Bowl Sunday, he posted a series of images calling out Pete, like posting a photo of him and Machine Gun Kelly in their Calvins and captioning it, "No, you will never meet my kids." His second post revealed a text message he got from Pete. And Pete said he hopes one day he can meet his kids and that they can all be friends. So it seems like Pete is ready to be mature about this whole situation, but Kanye is definitely not.